day, and I never want that to be given to me, and it's such a privilege and opportunity to give me that chance, and I'm just going to make the most of it every single day.
All right, so A, great answer, as you said, right?
Yeah, love it.
If you're a vet in that locker room, you love the answer.
Absolutely. You have a guy that wants to go out there and prove to the rest of the locker room, yes, the coaching staff, even if they believe in me, I have to show you guys that I'm worthy of leading you.
Yes, so that part of it, excellent. But B, I want to get Bart like one of those Sherlocks, because you heard that and you were all of a sudden a little detective, a little windy fingers. What do you think you're hearing here?
I mean, I wonder if Minnesota's internally still deciding should they bring in Aaron Rodgers. I mean, because Aaron Rodgers only really has one place to go, and that's Pittsburgh. So why isn't that deal done? Because I think maybe backdoor channels are trying to figure out how do I get to Minnesota. Because Minnesota is all in. When you look at what they've done in the offseason, they went and signed Jonathan Allen, Hargrave, and they also brought in Ryan Kelly. They went out and brought in Will Freeze. They're all in. And the last time, it only happened twice, that a first-year starter won a Super Bowl. That was Tom Brady and Kurt Warner. Are you telling me that you believe that this kid is that? He could be a good quarterback in the future, but I think the person that gives him the best chance to go up into the top 5 as far as Super Bowl contenders is Aaron Rodgers. For everybody, and I heard what Booger said yesterday, and I have tremendous respect for Booger, but I am contractually obligated to watch every single Jet play as I do pre and post. Not that it's a glorious job. I think I need a Nobel Peace Prize for being able to watch that stuff. But it wasn't the fact that Aaron Rodgers wasn't a good player last year. It was more that Tyron Smith had broken down and he got beat up the first couple of games. If you look at what he did, he played at a high enough level to get a roster like what Minnesota has over the hump. You mean to tell me that you believe that you're going to trust JJ McCarthy against maybe the defending Super Bowl champs to not be a rookie? Like, we haven't seen a guy that's a first-year starter not have those rookie moments.
You set it up, though. You led with Tom Brady and Kurt Warner. No one expected those guys in those seasons to have the success that they had. Okay. So if you're the Minnesota Vikings and you want Aaron Rodgers, what's stopping you from signing him? He's available. He's there. He hasn't signed with the Steelers. So if that was the case, then why not sign with why not offer him a contract now and have him as your starter? I think
because it makes you nervous, right? I mean, because it can't help but make you the thought of doing it can't help but make you nervous. Let's also remind everyone who doesn't remember, the Patriots didn't go to Tom Brady willingly. Drew Bledsoe got hurt. The Rams didn't go to Kurt Warner willingly. Trent Green got hurt. Dick Vermeil cried at the press conference and said, we're going to play great football around Kurt Warner, and we all laughed at him. And the next thing you know, he was the MVP and they won the Super Bowl. The point is, those were not choices that were made. Those were choices that were sort of foisted upon them. So I'll ask you, D. Wood, if you agree with Bart, and I think you do, the Vikings have a really good roster.
Yeah.
Would you, if they're going to win the Super Bowl this year, will it be with JJ McCarthy, who has never taken an NFL snap, or with Aaron Rodgers?
I'm going JJ McCarthy. Listen, you're the Minnesota Vikings. You traded up to pick this guy. Okay? I know we talk about Sam Darnold last year. The only reason Sam Darnold had that was because JJ McCarthy, he was outplaying Sam Darnold in the preseason. He got hurt. Okay? So for me, I go off of what you do as an organization, not what you say. There is not another quarterback on this roster right now. I think Minnesota is telling us right now, JJ's our guy. I know we can sit here and speculate about Aaron Rodgers, but I'm just not, I think JJ McCarthy is the guy.
You can have a great season with J.J. McCarthy, but can you win a Super Bowl with J.J. McCarthy? And if Aaron Rodgers is there and he is washed, you still have J.J. McCarthy. Yeah. What I'm saying is you have an opportunity in a small window to win a championship. If you add Aaron Rodgers to that roster, you have $32 million in salary cap space. You could always go back to J.J. McCarthy as your future quarterback, right? I just don't think you are really, truly trying to win a championship or have a chance to win a championship with a first-year starter. We've never seen it before.
Which one you like?
I'm going with J.J. McCarthy. I think that's what, to Wood's point, that's what they've done all year. I'm not going to disagree with you in the sense of if they did sign Aaron Rodgers, he's a guy where you look at where Sam Darnold got this team. I don't think Rodgers is falling apart at the very end. So I understand that thought process. I just think if they were going that direction, it would have already been done.
The most important thing I think you should take away from this conversation is that what Bart told you, and I watch it, you do the pre- and post-game on the Jet games, but he watched every snap from center that Aaron Rodgers took last year. The reports of his total demise are overstated.
Yes, they are.
That is 100% a certainty, as another one who watches those, and I didn't even get paid to do it. I just had to sit there and watch it because I'm a masochist.
They didn't pay me enough.
I'm telling you right now, he's going to play better than you think. That we have an executive producer on this show who has been integral in our in whatever success we've had here on Get Up. His name is Pete McConville. I call him Angry Pete from New Jersey. And after we had, because he's the angriest person that you know, he just wakes up in a bad mood and every single day. So he sends me a text after the conversation that we had earlier this morning about Russell Wilson. I just want to read it. I apologize for the language, but this is how he talks. He said, we, the Giants, would suck with Wilson anyway, so just suck again, get the #1 pick with a new coach and new general manager and reset. I think he speaks for a lot of Giant fans when he says that. Does it make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I don't think, like I said, if they would have brought in Aaron Rodgers, I didn't think they were going to have a great season. And, Vegas agrees with this. So I think you have to have – it's tough when you have a regime that's fighting for their existence, but then you have to do what's good for the team in the long haul as well. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
No, they put themselves between a rock and a hard place. Because if you were starting over with a new coach, look, I don't fire people. It's not my job to do that. I'm not telling them they should have. But, I mean, John Mara made it as clear as he possibly could at an interview in New York with Bruce Beck when he said, this better start winning in a hurry. I'm losing my patience. Well, when you say that, you're saying we need to win now. You're telling your general manager and your coach, you guys have to win now. And that does not conflate with what should be the strategy for the Giants right now, which is a long-term strategy. Your over-under in Vegas is 3.5 wins, for crying out loud. So if you love the quarterback now, then you take him. But you put yourself into a trick box here, and that's what bothers me about this.
I equate what the Giants are doing exactly what the Bears have doing for a long time. And that's why the Bears have been in this quarterback conundrum for years. Because, listen, you stick with the guy too long, then they pick a quarterback. The next thing you know, you fire the whole regime, you start all over again. Yeah. And the Giants are basically in the same cycle right now. And they're not going to get out of it until really it's all about John Mara, the owner. Yeah. At some point, you got to like, okay, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to stop holding on to people for the sake of holding on to people and move on.
At this point, to what Angry Pete just said.
Angry Pete from New Jersey.
If you're Brian Dable and Joe Shane, I want my kids to continue to go to school here in Jersey so they can finish out. So I'm going to get a Russell Wilson. And also for Giants fans, it's one thing in March to say, let's just suck and let's deal with it next year. But in the middle of December, when they're out there and they're getting blown out by 30, there's no Giants fan that sits there and says, you know what, I love this plan because Arch Manning is coming out in the draft and we're just going to be great. No, you're pissed off because your team sucks and you don't like the product on the field. And that's what happened last year. They were out there, they weren't winning games, and now you have to give the team credit for trying to win.
Let's go back to where this all started. Their loyalty to Eli Manning went too long. We see the same thing happen in Pittsburgh. So what happens is it's always hard to replace a legend. So they've been trying to replace a legend, and they doubled down on Danny Dimes, and they were wrong. And because he won a play